Could I come back, Secretary, to your opening statement? You made the comment there that in terms of your endeavours to reduce the number of contractors, yes. I think you said you've reduced 928 contractors. Many years ago, I asked one of your predecessors and the head of DMO, I think it might have been DAO at the time, whether or not when they employ contractors they have standards around qualifications and experience for certain positions, and the answer was yes. I assume that has not changed. So with these people who have been replaced, I think we can assume they met certain standards for qualifications and experience, which equals competence by and large. Yep. Have the APS or ADF members who have replaced them met the same standards in terms of qualifications and experience that is relevant to the particular role?
Yeah. So, Senator, I'll ask a couple of colleagues to help on this. So some of it has to do with in order to meet the government's objective, we are setting hard targets. So there's some, like each group in service is going to be given a number that they'll be held to account to meet that number. There's also some very good
Sorry,
work.
Mr Moriarty, I'm sorry to cut you off, but the Chair has been very harsh today in terms of his ruling of the clock. I've got a very simple question.
Yep.
We have a workforce. We had a workforce of 928 people who had a prescribed set of qualifications and relevant experience. Have the people who have replaced them demonstrated that they also meet that level of competence as defined, or are we replacing them with people because they happen to be ADF and APS but have actually seen a net decrease in competent workforce?
We have not done a one-for-one replacement, so with a contractor either replaced by a public servant or an ADF officer. Some of that's been to do with rationalisation of work. Some of that's been to do with changes in the way that we're approaching some of our project management and support. It is a very complicated tale, Senator, but we are not replacing that complete reduction with APS and ADF at this stage. We are seeking to grow ADF and APS skills. We've talked about the challenges there, but it's not a one-for-one swap. You swap out a contractor, you swap in a public servant or an ADF member.
Okay, so just because of time available, I'd like to just put on notice to ask you: have you done a skills gap analysis across your APS and ADF workforce to understand what is the training burden required to actually achieve the level of competence that we were contracting, given that the reason for contracting is often because you don't have those in-house skills? What I'm seeking to achieve is an understanding of whether meeting a government target means that we have a workforce that is not as qualified as they should be, handling some of the most complex procurement activities that the nation undertakes. If you could take that on notice in terms of when was such a gap analysis done, what is the plan to close the gap, and what risk mitigation measures have been put in place to ensure that decisions which are being taken by whether it's the Investment Committee or referred up to NSC are on the basis of information provided by people who have appropriate qualifications and experience to be making that advice. Thank you. If you could take that on notice.